Last week, we took you inside the Shelby Township Police Department's dispatch room where all 911 calls are answered. This week, we are back with the CompTech operators to talk about how cell phones have impacted the way they do their jobs. Here's Stacy Sansatera with more.
Basically, the piece of information we have to have is where you're at. I can't do anything if we don't know where you're at.
Shelby 911.
If you have an emergency and you call 911, there's one question dispatchers will ask before anything else. Where are you?
What's the residence?
Without that location, we're dead in the water.
Nowadays, the vast majority of 911 calls are made from cell phones.
Battalion in Alpha 5, you're en route.
Many GPS apps can find your location at the touch of a button, and most people assume 911 calls work the same way. It doesn't.
Cell phones, when they come into us, don't show us where you're at. And it's not like it is on TV where, you know, we call a number and 2 seconds later we know where you're at. It's a long process.
Most people that call 911 know where they are and can communicate it clearly to the operator. When there is a situation where a caller cannot communicate their location, it can take dispatchers precious time figuring out where they are.
We have to call your cell provider. They have to verify that we work here. So we're on the phone with them and they're calling my partner going, hey, does Dispatcher Donahue work with you? Yeah, she's right here. She's 2 seats over. And then they start the trace process. And some cell phone companies are real good and can give us pretty good information as to where you're at. Some companies can give us who owns it, so at least we could start at that person's house to go, hey, do you know where so-and-so is today? They're having an emergency. Or we may get nothing.
This is a public safety hazard that is largely unrecognized. And Shelby Township's 911 dispatchers recently experienced this problem when a call came in from the Clinton River.
I could tell she was scared. She didn't know where she was, and so it races up, and we just started rolling. As soon as I had a rough location, I sent my police officers. Dave was working fire that day. He sent the fire guys, and then after that, it's just, I mean, the Clinton River's huge. We have several miles of it go through our township alone, so it was at that point trying to narrow down, okay, where is she at? What part of the river is she on? So I stayed on the phone with her the whole time, and I heard her say, I can see the lights, and I was like, oh, okay, she's close, and I knew it was one of my officers were over there, and then he started calling out her name, and I had her yelling, and he's like, I hear her, and it's like, I found her. It's like, awesome, this is great.
Understood. 911 calls have grown by leaps and bounds because of cell phones.
We have to take the calls. We may sound snippy when we call, when we talk to you, or, we may answer the phone. Are you calling about the accident on M53 and 23 Mile? We got it. You'll hear it click because we're just getting so many calls. We have to go, unless the actual person is involved in the accident, then we'll keep them on. But if you're just calling to report it, we'll say, yeah, we got it. There's help on the way already.
The Shelby Township Police Department can handle 6 911 calls at a time. All overflow calls are sent to the Macomb County Sheriff Department. And this cooperation between Shelby Township and the county is vital as 911 calls continue to increase at an unprecedented rate due to cell phones. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.